Hi Lakia, thank you so much for tuning into your video. Love and light to you here. Thank you so much for your patience with it. It's been absolutely crazy, so thank you for your patience. Let's get right on with it now. I know that you ordered an astrological report. It was way back when, and so that is the sort of full explication of your chart. So we'll get into these energies here in this report, and I'll sort of point out anything that pops out as I'm sort of assessing the chart and sort of taking a look at it. Okay, live right now. You're born on the, oops, let me silence that. Okay, bit of an accent there. You were born on the 4th of April, 1988. Born at 4:08 p.m. in Anniston, Alabama. Okay, your sun is in Aries in your 8th house. Strong placement there. We'll get to that. Jupiter in the 8th house as well. Mercury at 29 degrees. Significant, right? Any planet, any point that's going to be placed at the 29th degree. Even the 28th degree is going to be significant. Considered an anoretic degree. A-N-O-R-E-T-I-C. A-N-O-R-E-T-I-C, yeah. Okay, I believe that's the spelling of it. 29 degrees. Your Mercury in Pisces, conjunct your North Node. You then have your midheaven, highest point in your chart, ruling matters of career, abbreviated as well as MC sometimes. It can be, you'll find that in Gemini, conjunct your Venus in Gemini. Okay, so Venusian matters could be related to your matters of career here, but we'll get to that as well. Your Chiron is in your 10th house as well in Gemini. Ascendant is in Virgo. Moon is in Scorpio, conjunct Pluto in the 3rd house. Your Jupiter is in the 8th house. Okay. In Taurus. Okay. Mars at 28 degrees in Capricorn. And so again, right, any planet's going to be, let's say, 28, 29, it's an advanced sort of placement there. So for you, you've got in Capricorn, and Mars in Capricorn is exalted, strong placement, and we'll get to that further as well. In your 5th house, that's happening with your Neptune in your 5th house as well. Strong placement there as well. As I'm getting it here for you, you have a Capricorn stellium, you have a Gemini stellium, you have 3 grand Earth trines connecting your Jupiter, your Saturn ascendant, Uranus, and Neptune. Okay, now I'll take a quick overview here of your top planetary archetypes, your top sign archetypes, your top elements, and your top modalities. The most prominent planets in your chart are Mercury at 15.9%, Pluto at 13.8%, Saturn at 12.4%, your Sun is at 8.3%, and Neptune at 7.9%. Your top sign archetypes, Capricorn, Scorpio, Pisces, Gemini, Aries. Your top elements are water at 34%, earth at 28.1%, air at 22.4%, and fire at 15.5%. Your top modalities are cardinal energy at 38.2%. Your second is mutable at 31.9%, and your third is fixed, okay, at 29.9%. Now, taking a look at your chart, right, what jumps out to me right off the bat is your sun in Aries in your 8th house. So naturally, right, the sun being the sort of strongest emanation point of energy in the chart, and it's right focusing more on the extroversion of the energetic sort of propensities that we hold. There is a strong focus on fire, okay, but being channeled by way of water. Given that the 8th house is the 8th water house of Scorpio, what's a further accentuation here is that both Aries and Scorpio are naturally ruled by Mars. Scorpio is also ruled by Pluto, so it has 2 rulers, but Aries specifically is ruled by Mars. So there's a strong Martian energy here that may be related to your solar energies, okay, and that which is related to how it is that we are asserting ourselves creatively, dynamically, also in terms of how it is that we take leadership of how we perform in certain ways, how it is that we act, right, given that Mars specifically is also related to the physical body, actual action and motion. There's a strong focus perhaps here on these concepts related to creativity, leadership, dynamic self-expression being channeled in contexts related to matters of the occult, metaphysics, energy work, healing, even alternative healing, so on and so forth, the body work, specifically body work. You have, and I'm hearing sensate for you here, there could be a focus on the actual physical senses, especially given that you have Jupiter in the same house in Taurus, which is naturally ruled by Venus. There being a focus perhaps on the senses here. There could also be a focus on finances, be it the finances of others, given that, right, the 8th house rules other people's finances. There could be a focus on managing funds as well in some kind of way, whatever that may mean to you, perhaps assets, material goods, even creativity, a creative sort of performance. And I'm seeing that there could be a strong focus here on strategic work, also on, again, leadership. How it is you're taking leadership of what is creative and dynamic. So it could be, right, taken in a number of ways. However it is that you feel perhaps related to this concept of, let's say, creative, I'm hearing development here for you, creative resources, I'm hearing partnerships as well. And Taurus is ruled by Venus, Venus ruling matters of partnerships. There being perhaps a focus on how it is that we are also forming networks or connections, bonds with others through what we create, through our work. There is a focus here on the Venusian archetype as it pertains to matters of career. Given that the Venus placement for you, your Venus is placed in conjunction to your midheaven, and Venus is the natural ruler of Taurus. So there is a focus on Venusian energies as it pertains to matters of career. So there could be a focus on specifically partnerships, also finances, be it varying art forms. There could be a focus on communication as well, how it is that we are engaging these concepts in a theoretical way, okay? And there could be a focus on some form of mentorship or teaching, again, working with groups and communities, be it whether you are bringing them together, be it whether your work is related to groups or communities. You have your Chiron asteroid, which is the natural, the asteroid that speaks to healing propensities. It's considered the wounded healer, right? It's in your 10th house of career, and it's in Gemini. Your midheaven is in Gemini as well, and so is your Venus. There's a focus here on specifically the archetype of Gemini as it pertains to what is to be carried through perhaps in a public way, and there is perhaps a focus on communication. And typically, right, wherever Chiron is in the chart, there could be a certain experience, a certain revelation, a certain lesson that we come to through I'm hearing for you performance, a matter of perhaps performance in some kind of way, be it in a public way, be it in an academic way as well, be it in a way of what is considered performance to me, what is the standard of performance to me, and there could be a focus on social communities. I'm hearing specifically for you, social interaction being perhaps a focus here, wherever it is though that we face perhaps a certain, again, it's like a lesson or a challenge. I'm hearing childhood here for you, whatever that might mean to you, specifically here with Chiron and Gemini in your 10th house. There could be, wherever it is, yet again, that we face some sort of experiential learning. I'm hearing here for you. There could be a focus on actual experiences or series of experiences. It could be related to school. It could be related to almost like whatever has been structured. Okay, I'm getting it as like structured, whatever you may have experienced I'm hearing lessons, series, stages. There could be a focus on sort of what we come to. I'm hearing what dynamic we also come to through those experiences that in some shape or form may be a point of healing, also perhaps teaching for others. So again, wherever it is that Chiron sits in the chart, there could be a focus on particular healing propensities there, and it may be related to whatever it is that you are moving through, perhaps publicly or in your work. There is, again, perhaps a focus on communication there. Now, you've got I'm hearing philosophies and teaching. There's a focus here on perhaps that concepts of philosophy, even let's say mentorship, counseling, even long distance travel. Given that you've got your Venus and your midheaven angle placed in your 9th house, your 9th house being the natural house of Sagittarius, and being the natural house of Jupiter as well, given that Jupiter rules both Pisces and Sagittarius, but it is the solo ruler of it. It only rules it rules Sagittarius. Okay, and so your Jupiter is very closely placed to your 9th house as well. So there's a focus here on specifically the archetype of Taurus and Sagittarius, as I'm seeing it. Jupiter and Venus here, and you've got your Venus in your 9th house, the Jupiter in Taurus following. So there could be a focus on specifically the archetypes yet again of Jupiter, Sagittarius, 9th house, Taurus, 2nd house. I'm hearing also 7th house, and you have a 7th house stellium. If you're considering your pars fortune, I believe that's your part of fortune in your 7th house as well in Aries. There is yet again Taurus, Venus, 2nd house. The 2nd house of finances, also material assets, and also in a certain way how it is that we see ourselves. Okay, there's a strong focus on Venus here, especially so given that you have ruling your 2nd house, cusping your 2nd house rather, is Libra, and Libra is naturally also ruled by Venus, both Taurus and Libra being ruled by Venus. There's a focus on specifically, let's say, the 2nd house, 7th house, Taurus and Libra, and this is especially so given that you've got your Mercury, your part of fortune, and your North Node in your 7th house. So there could be a focus here on specifically matters of communication, writing, speaking, learning in some kind of way related to matters of Venus, related to matters of material assets, goods, finances, art, harmony, beauty, friendship, in whatever way that may that you feel that may be related to. I'm hearing certain courses of study or action that you feel you're considering taking on, in whatever way that may be meant for you. The North Node placement, though, speaks of the life path, sort of direction and calling, and that's sort of right where it is in a certain way we're headed, depending on what belief you subscribe to. Right, the North Node being the point of, let's say, how we're moving in this lifetime, and then right the South Node being the sort of the energy that we have moved from. There's a focus in some shape or form, perhaps, on matters related to forming partnerships, again, communication. I'm hearing assets here specifically, and be it right whether our communicative abilities, it forms in a certain way, serves as an asset. I'm hearing partnerships, forming partnerships in some shape or form, an asset, and there may be focus here in particular on also energy work. Okay, whatever, and as it relates to specifically the archetype of Pisces. And why? Because you've got your Mercury in Pisces in your 7th house, you've got your North Node in Pisces in your 7th house. There's a focus, and they're both conjunct one another, Mercury and North Node. There's perhaps a focus on a fusion between, I'm hearing mercurial talent, I'm hearing assets, and that which is related to energy. I'm hearing, though, as well, performance here. So however does that it may be related for you. Here there's perhaps, though, a focus on specifically music, some form of art being heavily related by way of your communication. Also, some form of channeling can be a focus here, especially given that you've got your Mercury at 29 degrees of Pisces in your 7th house. So further, you've got let's see here, Mars in the 5th house at 28 degrees of Capricorn. There is a strong focus here on perhaps matters related to the 5th house that are motivating for you, that's exciting for you. You may find that activities related to the fifth house are incredibly rejuvenating, especially those that are perhaps related to or applied to business in some kind of way, to also what is structured, given that your Mars is in Capricorn, right, the natural ruler of the 10th house. There could be a focus on some form of entertainment, visuals. You have here your Neptune as well in the 5th house in Capricorn. There is perhaps a focus on also energy work related to matters that are perhaps visual, that are, again, a matter of, let's say, pleasure, of entertainment, be it in some shape or form also acting. I'm hearing role playing. I'm hearing guys, whatever that may mean to you. There could be a focus, though, on specifically, I'm hearing as well, dynamics. I'm hearing partnership dynamics. I'm hearing as well, and how it is that perhaps we are engaging. I'm hearing interactively with others. There may be a focus on that, and in a certain way, it's almost like, right, there is the perhaps desire to engage in what is creative and dynamic. Perhaps also working with children could be a focus here. Absolutely, given especially that you've got your Saturn in your 4th house. That rules, right, matters related to children, but the 5th house also rules children, pets as well. The 4th house, children, pets, and you've got a strong focus on Pisces as well, ruling also children, pets, related to children and pets, and your ascendant angle in Virgo ruling as well, healing, okay, and also working with perhaps in some shape or form, depends, but right, it's like veterinary work, okay? It's like working in some shape or form with perhaps children, pets, again, in a healing context, perhaps. You've also got a strong emphasis on Scorpio energy, right? So this is the 8th house, Jupiter in your 8th house, and the Sun in the 8th house. Perhaps a focus here as well, again, focus perhaps on children and pets in some kind of way. So whatever it is that may be focused for you, and you've got a strong focus on Scorpio, even further, given that more so given that you've got your moon in Scorpio and your Pluto in Scorpio conjunct one another, taking place in your 3rd house. So a focus again on the archetype of Gemini, given that Gemini naturally rules the 3rd house. But yet again, there could be a focus on, in some kind of way, what I'm hearing specifically we are curating, what it is I'm hearing the habitat of. There could be a focus on perhaps I'm hearing opening a center or community in some kind of way, be it if that's a focus for you. There is, though, a focus as well on, yet again, what is dynamic and perhaps what is creative and what is structured. Okay, and you may feel that you're incredibly motivated, desirous of creating certain boundaries, structures, guides, lines, to move in a creative, dynamic way through your work. There could be a focus here yet again on perhaps in some shape or form teaching, okay, and it's almost like the feeling of I feel like I can lead a group of children or individuals, and let's say in a group setting, I'm hearing specifically, creatively, in a way that is leaves the doors open for creativity, but also streamlines, I'm hearing, for success. And there could be a focus here on specifically upbringing. I'm hearing childhood, so whatever that may mean to you, in whatever particular way, let's see here further. There is, perhaps in some shape or form, a focus on our strategic abilities. And this is emphasized given the overall emphasis on the archetype of Gemini in your chart. But even further, Scorpio. And right, Scorpio is an incredibly psychoanalytic sort of attuned energy. It's analytical, but in a way that it's almost like it moves also layers deep beneath the sort of emotional also landscape. And so there may be a focus here on specifically, given that you've got Scorpio and Gemini overlapping one another with Pluto and your moon in your 3rd house in Scorpio, there could be a focus on how it is that we are moving through the emotional I'm hearing world or perhaps even energetic, spiritual, take it as you will, in an intellectual way, and vice versa. How it is that our intellectual pursuits are approached in an energetic way, in a spiritual way. So there could be a focus, though, absolutely on research, some form of research, be it right in an energetic way, or related to matters of the occult, metaphysics, sciences. I'm hearing metaphysics, sciences, however that may resonate with you. Perhaps being a focus in some kind of way, in how it is that we are understanding or grasping a certain concept or framework. And there could yet again be a focus on relaying that information. How is it that we are perhaps also, I'm hearing carrying over certain abilities, assets, skills, talents, gifts. I'm hearing it specifically as abilities, okay? So there could be a focus here on research. There is an incredibly strong focus, though, on what is a matter of performance, what is actually created, what is also perhaps in a certain way created almost ideologically, as I'm getting it, in a certain way. And there's a focus here on specifically the Earth archetype, strongly so in your chart, given that you have 3 grand Earth trines connecting your Jupiter, your Saturn, your Ascendant, your Uranus, and your Neptune. And this is accentuating matters of career, right, given that Saturn is involved, matters of also how it is that we're interacting with the public, how we're interacting with a group, an audience of people, and a group of people, given that your Jupiter is involved. As well, perhaps a focus on philosophy, working with matters that are related yet again to energy work, perhaps in some kind of way, there being a focus on how we are also presenting ourselves physically, how it is that we are also physically moving through our work. I'm hearing operating, operation, whatever that may mean to you, and it's almost like how you're personally involved, how it is that you are carrying out or delivering a certain perhaps body of work, message. You've got here, right, your Ascendant involved. You have as well Uranus. There could be a focus on some form of research or technology here, and sort of the synthesis of these energies may be maybe in a constructive way, a gift that you feel when I am engaging these concepts, or specifically these I'm hearing it as specifically talents and abilities, for example, Jupiter related to my ability to connect with a broad audience, my ability to connect in an open-minded way, as well as I'm hearing it for you, with I'm hearing characters, whatever that may mean to you in particular, perhaps also certain contexts, certain frameworks, certain concepts of thought, and I'm seeing it as specifically a focus on philosophy here, and right, Jupiter in Taurus in your 8th house. There is perhaps the feeling that when I engage these abilities, I'm hearing I'm able to create. I'm hearing specifically. I'm hearing also to compartmentalize, whatever that may mean to you. If that is perhaps a focus in matters of career, in some shape or form, compartmentalizing, and right, Gemini is incredibly strategic, organizational energy. So that could be a focus there for you in some kind of way. Specifically, though, leadership being a strong focus, and given that, right, your Saturn is involved in this trio of Earth trines, there could be a focus, strong focus on matters related to Earth, the physical Earth, also related to business, again, finances, again, perhaps strategy, organization, leadership in some kind of way. I'm hearing boundaries, forming boundaries. I'm hearing guidelines. It's like sort of like a program syllabus sort of energy that I'm getting. But right, and this is Saturn is the natural ruler of the 10th house, the ruler of Capricorn, Earth sign. So there could be a focus specifically or a channeling of these energies towards your 10th house energy, specifically here as I'm getting it for you. There could be a focus on your earth houses here. And that would be, right, sort of placing an emphasis on the archetype of Gemini for you. Mercury as well, which boomerangs to your 7th house. Again, matters of Venus, Libra related energies, also Pisces related energies, but related to matters of perhaps finances, related to matters of partnerships, love, art, harmony, beauty, music, so on and so forth. And also in a certain way, perhaps energy work or creativity or work with the subconscious. Okay, now let's see, there could be a focus on actual physical representation and what role that plays can be sort of prompted or stimulated by perhaps energy work, meditation, concepts related to energy, spirituality. Okay, sort of feeling is like almost like, okay, well, I'm making music, but how is it that I'm making the music, and what is it with it, what role is the music sort of playing? And I'm hearing for myself and for others, there is this feeling of, it's almost like you know, what are the lyrics? They're channeled perhaps in a certain way, and there being a sort of, again, a sort of energetic sort of component or dimension to what it is that you create that is a physical representation, I'm hearing, of your work that is perhaps related to the senses or visual. Now, you have here a strong focus on the mercurial archetype. Okay, and that has to do with matters of communication, that has to do with matters of writing, speaking, also language, okay, and how it is that we are in a certain way also translating a certain message. You may feel that it's like, I'm the messenger. It's like, you may feel, and there could be a focus here again on some form of perhaps communicating certain I'm hearing channeling certain individuals, whatever that may mean to you. There could be a focus on specifically spirituality. I'm hearing spirit guides, whatever that may mean to you. There is, though, perhaps a desire to have an illuminating impact, an illuminating effect. And this is given that, right, Pluto is also strongly situated in your chart, strong focus energy in your chart, and it's in your 3rd house. So it's a strong focus on the archetype of Pluto as well as Mercury overlapping with one another. There being as well, though, a strong focus on your solar energies, Neptunian energies, and Saturnian energies. Saturn, right, yet again, being the 3rd most prominent archetype in your chart, the Sun being the 4th most prominent archetype in your chart, and Neptune being the 5th most prominent archetype in your chart. There is perhaps a focus on how it is that we are creatively asserting ourselves. I'm hearing specifically in a dynamic way. I'm hearing in an earth way. I'm hearing in an earthy way, earthbound. There could be a focus on a certain I'm hearing mode of transit. I'm hearing of transmission that may be related to the physical earth, the physical body as well, that I'm hearing holds an etheric component to it, whatever that may mean to you. I'm hearing body, specifically here with Neptune and Saturn. There could be a focus and sort of feeling getting is like almost like, well, I'm using, let's say, I'm hearing measures. I'm using certain measures, certain guidelines. I'm hearing also, I'm seeing it as almost like crystal work. And I'm hearing aftermath, whatever that may mean to you. There could be a focus on what it is that is perhaps being yet again represented. I'm hearing showcased. I'm hearing specifically here, I'm hearing talent, I'm hearing shown. And what is in a certain way also being, I'm hearing created by way of that. Almost as if it's like the glow of, the aftermath of, I'm hearing again, what it is that is perhaps, I'm hearing stimulated or prompted in a physical way. And I'm hearing the physical manifestation of. So there could be a focus on the actual physical, I'm hearing body, I'm hearing membrane of the work that you may be involved in a certain way. I'm hearing performance, there being perhaps a performative aspect to it as well, and how it is that what is carried through that work is perhaps related to concepts of perhaps matters of I'm hearing the emotional space. I'm hearing emotional. I'm hearing the emotional. I'm hearing memory. I'm hearing the world. I'm hearing there could be a focus on also working with, in a certain way, as you may feel it, the collective. And it's almost like when my work may hold an expansive sort of role. I'm hearing position. I'm hearing place in what it is that I am perhaps creating in time, right? Saturn being related to time and space, right? The boundaries, let's say, as it may be perceived, right? Time and space are an illusion, right? But there being perhaps a focus on, in this dimension, the perceptive quality of matters related to the physical senses, the physical earth, also what is created in a material, tangible way, being related to what I'm hearing unidentifiable. What is also, in a certain way, I'm hearing a complete, in a certain way. However, that concept may be related to you. Again, there could be a focus on how it is that we are. I'm hearing. I'm hearing creating in so many ways. I'm hearing on so many levels, and I'm hearing with so many dynamics. It's like you maybe feel that through what it is that you're creating, through your work, there is a certain form of representation that is yet again had on in so many ways. And it's almost like, even if I'm presenting this picture that I've drawn, right? Even if I'm hearing creating crystal, I'm hearing crystal house, crystal grid, crystal work. There is a certain, I'm hearing environmental impact. I'm hearing here specifically as well with Neptune here, the Sun and Saturn. There could be a focus on how it is that I'm hearing that physical manifestation. I'm hearing that earthing of, I'm hearing in a grounded way, perhaps our creative abilities. I'm hearing manifestations in some shape or form holds an energetic also I'm hearing interpretive. I'm hearing dance. I'm hearing multi-dimensional. I'm hearing here with the Neptune. There being perhaps a focus on what is I'm hearing is streamed. Okay, I'm hearing streamed. I'm hearing seamless here with Neptune. Yet again, it's interesting because Saturn and Neptune are somewhat they're really different, right? It's like Saturn is all about boundaries. It's all about the physical earth. Neptune is all about, right, in a certain way, also perhaps a form of illusion, right? It's like the dissolving of boundaries. Okay. And there could be a focus on, I'm hearing aftermath, I'm hearing after work, I'm hearing after life. There could be, whatever that may mean to you, however that may be related to you, there could be a focus on what is the impact that I'm hearing sounds, I'm hearing is heard perhaps in a certain way, after in a certain way, the shake I'm hearing of the physical component of my work. I'm seeing it as almost like what is created and then what is then sort of I'm hearing made I'm hearing created. What is I'm hearing collective again. What is the impact that has had perhaps on a broad scale, that which is perhaps energetic, that has passed through time, okay? And I'm seeing it as sort of the transcendence through time. I'm hearing timelines, okay? Thank you so much, dear Lakia, for tuning into your video. Love and light to you here. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to email me with them. And thank you so much again for your patience. It's been absolutely crazy busy. So thank you so much again, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.